Hi Sonika, it's so lovely to connect with you, even though just virtually again, and want to start by wishing you happy International Women's Day.
Hi Elke, today I'm delighted to be talking to you and happy International Women's Day to you too.
As you know, this year International Women's Day is dedicated to all the women and girls around the world who are contributing to climate action in one form or another. To build a more sustainable future for all of us. As a student of agriculture yourself, why do you think this is an important theme?
I think it's very important that we understand the link between gender inequality and climate crisis. There is a lot of evidences which shows that when disaster happens, girls and women are the most vulnerable populations. Women and girls make up the majority of our populations. Because of gender inequality, they don't get the same opportunity to gain the skills and knowledge as boys and men. This is why this year theme is very crucial, because it is motivating us, like everyone, to come together to create all those opportunities to empower women and girls, so that they can raise their voice and play a bigger role in the fight against the climate change.
You raised some very important points, and thank you indeed for sharing all of this with us. A recent study that UNICEF conducted together with the Child Rights and Climate and Disaster Risk Reduction Consortium, with our colleagues from Save the Children, Plan International, World Vision, underlines what you have said about the disproportionate vulnerability of women and girls when it comes to the climate change crisis. In fact, the report also documents that following a natural disaster, girls and women have to take on many more additional family and household responsibilities. They're the first to be pulled out of school, they're the first to be forced into child and other labor, as well as into early marriage. So that connection between gender inequality and the climate crisis you have mentioned is very important for all of us to recognize. Now, I'd like to learn a little bit more about your personal journey in this field. When did you become interested in working to tackle environmental degradation?
So when I was just 12 years old, I saw a waste collection truck passing by my neighborhood, and I was so shocked by how much garbage it was carrying. I remember I had asked my parents, who are both journalists, what happens to the waste, and they told me that it ends up in a landfill site. And I had asked them to take me to see one of it. When we got there, it was such an eye-opening moment, because I saw tons and tons of trash and waste just sitting there. From there on, with my parents' support, I started to learn more about the waste segregations and composting. And we started a small compost bin in our own home. And after seeing this, I remember our neighbors, they were very inspired to set up their own compost system. Since then, I have been involved in several campaigns in my community and college to spread awareness and skills on segregating waste and various types of composting.
Thank you so much for your efforts, Sonika, and for sharing that inspiring story. I think what comes through your journey is a very important point about personal responsibility when it comes to climate change, because climate change can often feel like a very vast, complicated topic that involves a lot of scientific data. It can make it a little intimidating for young people in particularly to know where to start. So what message or tips would you share with your fellow youth, especially young girls, based on your experience?
Every small step does matter to bring a huge change in the future. So even though people might feel like their contribution is too small and won't make a difference, I believe every step counts and they must continue to take their steps. I think it's also important that we try to reimagine how climate change is taught in our schools. If we are taught practical climate action skills like reducing, recycling, and reusing the wastage in the same way we learn other good habits like brush your teeth every day or wash your hairs, we will have a generations of more climate smart people. For young girls who want to engage in climate actions or any other form of activism, I would encourage them to speak up. every chance they get and raise your voice with dignity. Don't let yourself be discouraged from doing something by people who tell you that it's not a girl's job or you cannot do this because you are a girl. Trust yourself, and because my parents supported throughout my journey, I will ask all parents, all families and friends to support your girls in speaking out, in taking up new opportunities and in gaining the skills.
This has been such a wonderful opportunity to hear and learn from you about your work, your ideas, and in fact your passion for this important topic. You are such a positive role model for women and girls in Nepal and beyond, Sonika. So thank you so much for sharing. And on behalf of all of us participating in this International Women's Day program and everyone at UNICEF, I truly wish you all the very best in everything you do.
Thank you so much, Elke, for this opportunity and for your work as well. Thank you.